Niterói, Brazil, 1966. Two electronics technicians hike a hill with cash, raincoats, and a handwritten note. Be at the agreed place. Ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals. Await signal. 2 days later, they're found dead, wearing lead masks over their eyes. No trauma. Money still in their pockets. Tonight, we rebuild the evidence step by step and ask, what did those instructions mean? And why would anyone need a lead mask to wait for a signal? Vintem Hill overlooks Guanabara Bay. A boy searching for a kite spots two figures in the brush. Police arrive at dusk. Raincoats over suits. Crude lead eye shields, just plates shaped to cover the eyes, not gas masks. A small notebook with telegraphic lines. A water bottle. 2 towels. Cash. No clear signs of a fight. No obvious cause of death. Just stillness. Their names were Manoel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana, electronics technicians from Campos dos Goitacazes. They were radio people, soldering irons, coils, multimeters, comfortable around voltage and light. In the days before they vanished, they told family they were headed to Rio to buy parts. They withdrew cash. They purchased raincoats, though the morning was clear. They carried a small notebook, the one police would later find, with lines about capsules, protecting metals, and awaiting a signal. From witness statements and receipts, investigators sketched a partial last day. Bus toward Niterói. At a shop, they buy bottled water. The clerk remembers them checking the time. One looks anxious. They climb Vintem Hill, a place with a clean horizon and good radio view over the bay. The plan seems timed. Arrive, ingest something, wait for the effect, protect metals, await a signal. But toxicology, run later, was inconclusive. Too much time passed. Too few samples were preserved. If there were capsules, their identity can no longer be confirmed. Now, let's decode the two strangest items. The lead masks cover only the eyes. In high-intensity light experiments, arc lamps, magnesium flash, your eyes are the weak point. These plates don't filter air. They're shields against a sudden burst of light. And the note, be at the agreed place. Ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals. Await signal. It reads like lab shorthand, timed steps rather than full sentences. Protect metals could mean stow gear where moisture or magnetism won't ruin it, or shield sensitive parts before a test. The more exotic idea, protecting the metals inside the body, feels less likely. Either way, the note couples a timed ingestion with an anticipated signal. What the scene said and didn't. Cash remained on both men. Watches on wrists, clothes neat. An empty water bottle, consistent with swallowing something and waiting. Towels for sweat, or for handling warm or messy gear. Raincoats, bought the same day, suggesting they plan to stay outside for hours, regardless of weather. What we don't have is louder. No confirmed poison, no preserved capsules. Varying autopsy accounts, limited toxicology. The record is thin, and speculation thrives when records are thin. First, a DIY electronics experiment gone wrong. Treat the pair as what they were: technicians. Vintem Hill is a logical place to receive or send a signal. The note reads like a protocol: arrive, ingest, after the effect, protect metals, await signal. Why ingest anything? Perhaps a misguided attempt to steady nerves, a stimulant, a sedative, or something they believed would let them tolerate a bright flash. Without samples, we don't know. But the experiment frame fits more than one physical fact at once: a hilltop vantage, masks to save the eyes, precise timing, an orderly scene. It also explains why money remains. This doesn't look like a robbery. Second, a spiritualist or contact session, 1960s. Brazil had active spiritualist circles and some mixed radios with ritual, waiting for a signal in the sky. In that context, lead eye shields make cultural sense if you fear a blinding manifestation. Raincoats match a plan to sit out for hours, rain or no rain. There are scattered reports of lights over the area that night. They're anecdotal and unverified, but they persist in retellings. This theory elegantly explains the masks, but it raises questions. If it's a session, where's the larger group? Why only two? And why no confirmed cause of death? Third, foul play. Could someone have poisoned them? It's possible. But the details push back: cash left behind, watches on, a public hill, and props, masks, notebook, that read like self-chosen steps rather than a staged crime scene. Not impossible. Just the least parsimonious explanation given the objects we have. What forensic testing could and couldn't tell us. By the time fuller toxicology might have happened, decomposition and handling had done their damage. If the capsules were barbiturates, or a drug that clears quickly, the signal could have faded before testing. Another possibility is a combination: heat, dehydration, and a sedative. Two men lying down to wait, and then simply not waking up. It's grim, but it fits the tidiness of the scene and an era when forensic capability depended heavily on where and when you died. What the evidence supports, stacked carefully. 1. Two technicians with cash, water, towels, and raincoats. 2. Lead eye masks, practical against bright light. 3. A timed instruction set: arrive, ingest, protect, await a signal. 4. A hill with good radio view. 5. No struggle, money intact, scene orderly. That cluster looks more like an experiment or a vigil than an ambush. Which experiment? What vigil? Those answers vanished with the capsules and with any apparatus that may have been removed. If this were investigated with modern tools, the checklist writes itself: broad LCMS/MS and GCMS toxicology screens. Hair analysis for chronic use, metals and solvent panels, residue swabs of the masks and clothes for flux, battery acid, nitrates, magnesium powders, rare earths used in optical experiments, soil in shoe treads compared to the trail, and re-interviews with a visual timeline to correct or confirm memory. 60 years later, most of that is academic, but it shows how many blind spots the 1960s had. What about the UFO question? Bright lights plus radio always invites it. It's fair to note the culture. Brazil did have skylight reports, but the masks don't require an exotic cause. An arc, a magnesium flash, a high-intensity lamp, any could be blinding enough. A wait signal could mean a radio ping, a timed flash, or a partner on another hill. The border between a great mystery and a misfired DIY experiment can be thin. Two careful men seem to have believed they were on the edge of showing something, to a friend, a circle, or simply to themselves. They planned, they timed, they protected their eyes, they waited. And whatever they expected to see wasn't what came for them. The lead mask's case reads like a small tragedy. Method without safety, ritual without redundancy. An experiment that left almost no echo except for a towel, a bottle, a note, and 2 masks. If myth-free cold cases are your thing, subscribe, tap the bell, and share this with a friend who prefers evidence to speculation. In the comments, tell us which detail matters most to you: the note, the masks, the timing, or the lack of a cause. We'll pin a top viewer take after the premiere. And if you have credible historical documents, contact the proper archives or authorities. Please don't post private names here.